I believe when I watch the Ravens that the Ravens will get to the playoffs. But I was worried with what I saw yesterday. It was so funny because we sat here last week talking about these great receivers and they have in the league, and this is the best era of wide receivers. And Key and I pushed back because we talked about the intimidation factor, the hitting factor that you don't have to worry about in today's game. I thought was interesting in that Baltimore game. I heard, just like everybody else, all the noise. Mike Tomlin is putting them through a fully padded practice on Wednesday. It's going to be a physical game come Sunday. And they came to play. That Pittsburgh Steelers defense came to play, and it intimidated those receivers for the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore got intimidated?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Those passes, they were perfectly thrown passes. They weren't even contested passes, and they were dropping those passes. They were dropping passes that he threw perfectly. And Skip, Sherm, when I watch Odell, I love Odell. That's my dude. He is not healthy.
No.
He is not right.
No.
I'm seeing him. He is limping routes, and he's not confident in that leg at all. And I've heard people say he's such great in the locker room, and he is a great guy and great in the locker room, but it's also saying he's not the same guy on the football field. And that football team, they gave that game away yesterday. I'll give Pittsburgh all the credit in the world, but I've never seen so many drops on easy catches like I saw yesterday by those Baltimore Ravens receivers.
They're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble because Lamar Jackson was playing a really good game, and his receiver played like they hated him. They played like they hated him. They dropped dimes. He hit him in the hands, hit him in the face mask, on the screws, drop. Hit him in stride, Nelson Aguilar, full speed, catch that, run to the end zone, easy touchdown, drop. Even Zay Flowers, that has been a great receiver this year, wide open. Hey, catch this with space, go maneuver, drop. I just don't understand it. Mike Tomlin is a great coach and should be remembered historically as one of the greatest coaches in the National Football League's history. You know, he played during his time of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, so he never gets the flowers he deserves, but he's never had a losing season. And it's not going to start this year. And he's going to, regardless of who's his quarterback, who's his receiver, who's on defense, he's going to have a winning season. But the rest of the AFC has improved this week. Burrow looked better. Jamar Chase got 19 targets, 15 for dang near 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was out there killing. Everybody else woke up this week. So it's trouble for the Baltimore Ravens.
I cannot disagree with you because when I look down the third hardest remaining schedule, it just gets harder. You think Dallas has a hard schedule. This is a touch harder. And I felt for Lamar yesterday because I'm a big fan. I'm a believer. He finally got paid. He got all the bitterness behind him. And then that happened. They blew another home game when they were decimated. They were down 7 starters to Indy, who's better than I think most people thought, even without their young quarterback. But the point is that Lamar, the drop of the day is to Aguilar, because it's 10-3 late third quarter, and Aguilar is gone for what should have been the 17-3 touchdown. And if you catch it and just it's just done. I just think this is the end of it, and you cannot throw a better ball than that. You just cannot throw. Would he have scored?
Yes. No, he would have scored.
I think he's going to score.
Yeah, he would score. There's no way you don't score.
I just think he's going to score. Okay, can they hang on to 17-3? Yeah, they can. They're that good. But then finally you let Kenny Pickett and Pickens get rolling, and they had a big late connection that broke the game open the other way. So to me, Lamar is off to not quite an MVP start, but he's been pretty good. And I don't even know, they're leading the league in drop passes. So I don't know what to do with, QBR, he's 13th. Well, how much better would it be if they just hang on to the football? It's supposed to be factored in. He's completing 70% of his passes with all the drops. He's not running it the way he used to because you can't. You just, as you grow up in this league, if you're going to last in this league, his total rush yards are the lowest since his rookie year, the 265. It's still 5.6 a crack. It's still the best of any quarterback running the football. but he's not a devastating runner because who would expect him to?
Right.
You got paid, and the reason they had a hard time paying you is they were afraid you couldn't stay healthy. So they're trying to keep him a little more out of harm's way. But, hey, I look down the schedule, and the only saving grace is the Bengals have the toughest remaining schedule in the NFL. But Cleveland is 20th, and Pittsburgh is 24th in degree of difficulty. So you can see what's going to start happening. Cleveland and Pittsburgh will just keep rising up because they're going to have a bunch of winnable games. So in the end, I fear that the Ravens are in trouble as far as they're looking wild card-ish now at best. Right. And you know and I know how hard it is to go that route.
Yeah, but I believe Lamar can get there because Lamar is such a unique talent.
He is.
And no, he's not running Skip like we used to see him run, but that's still in him.
It is.
He's just not doing it right now because they're trying to get away from him needing to do that. And Lamar doesn't even really slide as much as he needs to.
Right.
That kid Richardson, he's learning. Not in this league.
You can't do it. You
Grade-
can't
do it.
Grade 3 AC sprain.
You can't continue to put your body in harm's way in this league. And Lamar has such a unique talent. I still believe they got a chance. Because Cincinnati may get going, but those other teams, Pittsburgh can't muster an offense.
Now,
let's stop being real. Now that young Kenny Pickett, that receiver, my God, he's something special.
I
but
think
they can't muster consistency.
When they started the season, Kenny Pickett, I was making songs about him. Kenny Pickett, yes, he can. Kenny, he kept on picks. He wasn't efficient. All he needed to do was target George Pickens more. If you only have one guy, throw it to him 10, 12, 15 times and see what happens. He's one of those guys. He's a freak show.
Yeah, but you got, when I talked to Mike Tomlin, and I have talked to him recently here, the one thing he always says, and he said to me then, when I was there, he said, listen, he had me talking to Pickens, he said, I gotta make sure he knows I need a full receiver. I just don't want the sideline dramatic. I want the consistency in the regular. And I think he's learning that. He makes some incredible plays. He does this in practice. When you watch him practice, he does it in practice. And we're sitting there. One of my best friends, Fredo Roberts, is the tight end coach with Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So I talk to them all the time. And I'm telling you, man, they're trying. They got this kid, and they want him to learn the whole game plan and be a real, true number one. And he can be that. He's a phenomenal talent.
I didn't know he was the tight end coach.
Yeah, Fredo's
back from your
Pittsburgh.
Cowboy days.
Right. Yeah, Fredo's tight end coach. He got Fran. He got my 88 over there in Pittsburgh. I know he was hurt. But get well, buddy.
All right. Speaking of the Cowboys, we're back to them next. Is it time for the Cowboys to finally move on from Dak Prescott? Good question. And we hear from you next again on #UndisputedLive. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.